G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Look, we're having beautiful days. A bit windy though. It's 7 degrees this morning. It's a little after 6 o'clock Monday morning and look, it is quite chilly outside. No frost. I've been for a walk around the veggie garden this morning to have a look and no frost or anything like that. There's actually a bit much breeze for the frost, so that's a good thing. I've actually been playing with microphones and that again. I've been walking around. This isn't hooked up, this one, but I've been walking around. We're trying to do a couple of clips on our little property here, on our 8 acres in Bundaberg here, and get a walk around for a bit of a look at things. But we can get the footage okay, but we're actually having trouble with the sound because of the wind. The sou'westers that are blowing through. It's probably just a poor time of year to try and do that. We've been playing with different microphones and bits and pieces like that. I'll just put that up out of the way again. We've been playing with microphones and look, little bits and pieces to try and get the outside footage sorted out. And part of doing that is, part of the reason I'm actually putting a bit of time and effort into that is we're going up to Billawheeler next weekend to the Old Wheels in Motion, the Billawheeler Vintage Machinery Show on the weekend of the 20th of July, anyway, 2019. We're going up there and look, just about every time we've been there, there's a sou'wester blowing through. And we thought, well, we're going to try and get a bit of footage of the tractors, and I'll see if I can get someone to drive my little gold tractor for me, and when it's in the Grand Parade, and I'll try and film the Grand Parade and things like that. But we're going to try and get a couple of different sound bites because of the wind. And at the moment, our block faces north-south, so I'm looking towards the road as we're filming this, and so I'm facing north. And the sun's coming up in the northeast at the moment, this time of year, so I've just been up the front standing at the road trying to get a photo, or trying to get some footage of the place with the sun behind me. And well, when you've got the sun behind you, you're looking dead smack bang guts into where the wind's coming. So, and it's quite a breeze that I've been mucking around with this little microphone and recording a sound bite on my phone. The dead kitten one, we're playing with that at the moment. That's the dead cat one with the furry bit on the outside. Look, it's the best for getting a clear sample, so we'll probably look at using that on a instead of using just the camera microphone. We'll try and have that mounted on top of perhaps the old Panasonic camera. We'll see. And so at the moment it's just trying to get a good images of things with the sun at your back, so you're not glaring into the sun. And these cameras are a bit modern, but and look, I do everything on auto on the camera. I don't understand some of the other stuff, and perhaps I should get my finger out and learn a little bit about all that. So but just getting good samples is what we're trying for, and to get set up so I understand it, so we can get a bit of better footage at Billawheeler. So we'll probably try and do I may do a walk around, but we may just do a half an hour or however long the Grand Parade is, and just find a good spot and watch all the tractors going past or something like that. But we need to keep that wind noise out, which is a bit of a problem. I've got a bit of a sniffly nose this morning just from the cold. I've been buggering around outside. And this here, you might wonder what that's for. Stick your finger in the hole. That's a worm farm we're working on, and it's an old esky that we had, and we're filming that for our homestead and hobby farm playlist. I I drilled holes in here yesterday, and I've put these in for this worm farm for Judy, and we're just letting all that set. So look, that's looking pretty good. I can probably continue with that today, but before we actually put that video out, we'd actually like to get like an introduction to the place and, you know, a bit of a walk around done. But yeah, we're a bit snookered at the moment. I might have to try and wait till this afternoon when the sun's over more northwest, and if the wind's coming southwest, I might be able to shield it with my body or something like that. So I do have a little, like a round piece of stocking thing that we can keep the wind away with, but yeah, by the time you're traipsing around the paddock with all this bloody conglomeration, yeah, I'm not sure, I'm not sure what's going to work and what's not. But anyway, not to worry. This weekend we've got the tappets on the multi-power filmed. This Nikon camera, it only goes for half an hour, and I think I missed the. It lets me take half an hour bites, and it works it on memory size. The higher the definition, the smaller. If I put it up on 4K, I can only have 15-minute bites. And so, when you're filming and you're into stuff, you work away, and the time just goes. Next thing you look up, and the camera's bloody stopped. And you go, oh shit! But anyway, that's how it goes in the big smoke, eh? And so we've got the tappets done on that. I've got to get a couple of lock nuts for the tappet cover yet, but today we might putt along with that a little bit. We'll see. I wouldn't mind getting this project out of the way so we can clear that. And it's just sitting up on the forklift at the moment. It's just a nice filming height, so that's looking okay. The wind's just picked up. You can hear. I don't know if you can hear the leaves in the background, but maybe not. We've also, for the channel, we earn a little bit of money with the channel with Google. You know, Google ads. You'll see the ads at the front, and look, watch them for me, okay? Helping me out. And but what we're doing with some of that is, last week we actually bought a Tascam D70D sound recorder, and what that does, that will sit on the tripod under the camera, and not only will we take a sound bite with the camera, it'll take its own sound bite, and it's got 2 stereo microphones sitting at the front of it, but we can record up to 4 tracks. So we can have a microphone on a boom like we have here now. We can have that there, but the main reason for doing that and getting it set up like that is I'm finding on some of the videos, on the how-to videos and all that, I'm looking at something and I'm turning away, and the sound's a little bit up and down. So so we invested in a four-track sound recorder, and we're also doing wireless microphones. So I should be able to have a little belt pack on with a microphone stuck to my shirt, so it doesn't matter where I'm looking, the sound volume and all that will be the same. It gives us an option to some of the background noise, like the solar. When we're over in the corner near the compressor there, you can hear a buzz in the background, and that's the inverter for the solar panels on the shed. And I can pick it up sometimes. You got to be listening for it. It's not bad by any means. So what that'll do for us is, in the past, if I've had a microphone on me and I walk around, I keep forgetting to take the bloody thing off, and yeah, schmozzle. A bit of a circus goes on here sometimes, and so we're going to have wireless mics. So also, if we get someone in and we want to, it's got the option for doing interviews and things like that. If we get someone in here that's interesting to talk to, or something like that. Not that I don't know whether we go that way. We'll just see how it all goes. So yeah, we're putting a little bit of money back into the channel, and a lot of it's just to try and pick the quality up of bits and pieces. We have filmed a little bit this weekend with the old Panasonic Lumix that got us going. Look, it's a good camera. This Nikon does a clearer photo. That's this camera I'm talking to now. I think it does a little bit better, but sometimes, however they work the colour out in it, it's the Lumix looks a brighter, cleaner picture sometimes, but this is more refined. So anyway, who cares? We'll sort it out. We'll sort it out. But yeah, so that's we're putting a few bob into that just to see if we can tidy things up a bit, and I'm finding with some of the stuff that we're filming, I'm doing a few takes, and oh geez, it takes a long time just to try and get something that's suitable, get the right angle and the right light, and we've got LED light panels and all that. So anyway, not to worry. That's going to be my worry, not your worry. Hopefully I can get something decent, and hopefully at Billawheeler this coming weekend, we can get a reasonable quality of video out in the open in the wind. You can hear the door rattles there a little bit in the shed. When I go to film in the shed here, I actually I have wooden wedges where I jam all the doors, because they're in a little track and they like to jiggle back and forth a little bit, so we have to do that and make sure the compressor's off and all that sort of thing. So anyway, that's that's what I've been looking at this weekend. Just trying to do the worm farm for Jude for up the house there, and we've been doing a bit of research into what we can do with our sound and all that sort of thing. Mostly the sound's pretty good nowadays. I've worked out a lot with the sound, but look, there's room for improvement, and it's about getting as good as you can at your hobby, your craft sort of thing. So we'll see what goes on from there. Next Friday we're heading out, going up to Billawheeler to the tractor show. We are looking forward to it. Breath of fresh air. We got the motel booked and the whole thing. So today I've got Goldie around the side there to wash Goldie, and I've done a couple of little mods on Goldie just yesterday. I'll take you around and we'll have a bit of a walk around, but we have to have a rear view mirror by law to have a tractor registered in Australia. So I had a 3/4 bar just going out there and the mirror clamped to it, and with the flex in the canopy, by the time I sat with my big head sitting up here and the mirror was over there, and I had it in a good spot to see who was coming behind me to the right. If we went on rough road, the flex in the canopy would come down and bang on the mirror and push it out for me, and so sometimes the mirror would be out of whack and I wouldn't realise, and yeah, a car would come past, I'd near shit myself. And so I've cut and shut that bracket now, and I've brought it out and down on probably 30-40 degree angle, and so that's given me clearance under the roof. Another thing with Goldie that used to annoy me was with the Bearco canopy, where it sits along the top, there's a bar, a strengthening bar. When you're going on the rough ground, that would come and bang on the bar, and it just had this little and just a little vibration, and I don't know, I used to just find it annoying a little bit. So while I had all the white Sikaflex out here yesterday for doing the worm farm, I've actually lifted the canopy up and I've put a big bead of silicone, probably so long, to take that vibration out for me. So so without that canopy, the canopy used to bow down in the centre just a little bit too. So we've sat that up now nice and level, and we've put a bead of silicone under it, and there's a couple of little T-clamps where we hop onto Goldie, and where the forward and back bars meet the crossbar, and there's a little T-clamp, and so I don't forget one day and hop up and skin my noggin on it. I've got the round side of the cup head bolts down and the nut up, and that was starting to wear into the canopy as well. So while we had the Sikaflex out, we've actually lifted all that up and just strengthened that up a bit. Yeah, so we've put a different. Well, it's just supported it, and that will have set overnight now. I left Goldie outside. I had her outside to wash her and all that. Then I realised that I had this out. I could go and fix these little things that have been giving me the shits. So I've left her out there, and like at these shows, she stays outside. That's no problem. So today she'll just be getting a bit of a check over and a wash, and get ready to pop on the trailer and be organised to drive out of here next Friday. So at the moment, I have been using Bearco canopies. We're agents for Bearco, but Sparex have just brought out a canopy range in Australia, and they're a lot more like the old Flatford canopies. Now, the Bearco canopy, it comes along and it's all rounded edges and all that. And look, that's fine. It does the job, but I find when you go to put a flashing light on or something like that, I like the flashing light off to the right where cars can see it. And I find that there's no flat surfaces, or very few. So Sparex got on to me the other day and they said, look, we got these canopies, and anyway, I got a photo of them and I said, yeah, look, I'd like to buy one of them. So I've bought one, and with them I can actually have extra bars going across ways, so I can make it a bit more rigid than the Bearco one, but that also gives me a mount up the top for the UHF on the trekking tractor. So I'll take you out and give you a quick look at that as well today before we pull up stumps. But all in all, we've just spent the weekend doing a little bit of gardening and a little bit of tractor work and this thing here. So this isn't far. I've just got to put some legs on this thing now and then put a roof on and things like that. It's an old esky we had, so this shouldn't be far away from being done. And I have got the fuel tank off the multi-power tractor, and like I say, I've done the tappets. I'm thinking now of I do have to wheel the front axle out and put the new front axle, the main boss, on, and in the process of that, do a front crank pulley. At some time something's happened with that tractor and it's actually broken the boss where the front axle pivots, and they've welded it up, and look, it looks fine, but I just don't want that on my tractor that I go tootling round on. And so we're going to put the new pulley on and all that, and look, just catch up on a few of the little things on it. So we might get to that today. I'll see if I can pop a camera up and have a fiddle. But apart from that, not an awful lot. I did a video last week on the Banggood micrometers. God, they left a bit to be desired, I tell you. But look, in saying that, look, I can make them good and usable. It's just out of the box, you'd be disappointed. But yeah, look, nothing else has been going on roughly this week. Just getting ready. Today I'll have to put the tent in. Oh yeah, we have a gazebo that we take for Billo. I have to get that in and get some tables and get a tablecloth and make sure I've got the Fergie Club flags there so we can fly the club flag. But look, if you're coming past, call in for a yap. Say good day, and yeah, we'll have a bit of a yarn. We got all day up there, so we got we'll be there probably from 9 till 3 or something like that on the Saturday. Then on the Sunday, we'll be up there in the morning, probably from 9 till noon or something like that, and then we'll just pack up and head back. It's 3.5 hours drive home, so yeah, we'll get back home and ready for work on Monday. So anyway, see how we go. So look, come for a walk. We'll go for a bit of a lap, and I'll just show you just a few knickknacks I've been doing. Okay, we're out the back here now where I've got Goldie ready to wash, and you can see with the canopy, when you look down, it's got that rounded back edge and rounded front, and when you come round the front here, it's still a little low in the centre. You can see it higher at the edges, but with that rounded look, look, it's not a bad looking canopy, that's for sure. But with that rounded canopy, yeah, I've had to make brackets like this bracket here. I've had to make that to get a flashing light on because I wanted it over to the right hand side. I could have had it in the middle, but I wanted it over the right where it's a bit more obvious to people. But just as a point of reference, on the John Deere 2030 here, here's an old canopy. Got a bolt coming out there, but to stop the vibration on this one, I actually put a couple of exhaust clamps through. But this gets a bit of a hiding under the trees and that. So that's a Flatford canopy, I believe. Now, when we have a look at the Sparex canopy, I've put it on the ground down here. Now, the Sparex canopy is nice and flat. So we have a reasonably sharp edge at the back there that we can put our number plate on and all that. Then, yeah, look, and look, does it matter? No, it doesn't really matter a lot. It's just, I thought on the trekking tractor I'd go this way. The brackets are over here, and you get two main brackets that go across, but I've bought two more, and where the holes go, here's a dog been up to mischief. And where the brackets go, where the holes go down here, I can actually put another couple of them in to mount something. So that's okay. Now back to what I was. When we look at the canopy here, or the mirror bracket here, that was straight, and the canopy used to bounce up here. Trying to stay in focus, Lance. The canopy used to bounce and just touch the top of that mirror and knock it out of whack for me, so I'll fix that. Where we hop on left and right there, the nut sitting up here, I think you can see that. The nut sitting up there was starting to wear into the canopy, so I've glued that up. And in the centre here, you can see that blob of shit there. Well, this used to just bounce back and forth, and up in through here, this would come and bang on that pipe all the time. And yeah, it wasn't real flash, so we've decided to fix that. So all in all, it's going good. The Goldie's looking okay. She'll need a bit of a bath and a bit of a tidy up. I've got too much junk around my shed, haven't I, really? And but yeah, nice looking little tractor. We'll get it over to Billo. We'll get it shone up today and make sure all the levels are right and all that, and get him ready. So there you go. That's Goldie, and that's the canopy setup that I'm going to put on the 135 multi-power tractor. Well, here's something of interest to you. I've noticed with Goldie lately, I've just had a slight little tappet sound. Now, once I come back from the Motto tractor trek, if you remember, the cross plug come out of the back of the head, so I reset all the tappets then, and I just reckon I could hear a loose one. Just a little tap like that. So I thought, well, before I go away, I'll just pop the tappet cover off and just do a quick run through, because with these old tractors, what we have trouble with from time to time is these get over tightened on the rocker adjusting screws, and you have them let go. So I thought, well, look, I better check that. I'd like to make sure. But what I have done is the top here, the last couple of times I've pulled it off, there's just a little bit of condensation there. So I've sort of been wondering where this condensation come from, and I've been fiddling along. So I've actually taken all the rockers off, and I've re-radiused the bottom end there. There was a couple of little bits of rust there, and a couple of pits, so I've just had that off. And while I had it off, I thought I'd come around here and I'd check the cooling system. Now, the cooling system should run at about 4 to 7 pound. I've got what, 10, 11, 12, 13 psi there, and it's held that for the last half an hour or more now. But I think I've found what the problem is. If we look there, I wonder, can we... And I've cleaned all this out. Now just there, see the little bit of moisture on my finger? That plug's letting go. And it's a white metal plug, and they eat in from round the back. Now the tractor runs nicely and everything, but I can just see a little bit of coolant coming in. I run a bright green glycol based coolant. See if I can get in closer. Yeah, you can just see a little bit of light there. About there. Actually, I think I just saw a little bit of a shimmer here. Where are we? Here too. There. So what happens over time, these wear out. They corrode from the inside. Now, like I say, I did this engine up many years ago now, and 12, 13 years ago, and we did the head and the valves and all that then, but we would have pressure tested this and found no trouble. So I'll see if I can find that. But look, what we're going to do, we're going to drop the coolant out of the tractor, and we're going to dig all this out. We're going to run BSP thread in there, and we're also going to put a brass cap in so it can never happen again. So I'd say what's happening is when the tractor's getting hot and we're running along, there's just a little bit leaking in there. Then with it hot, it gets a bit steamy and causes a little bit of condensation. So the bore's good. We did the when we come back from the Mondo run, the Mungungo hotel run, we compression tested it and we did coolant tests and all that sort of thing. And I pulled the tappet cover off, and we did the tappets after that just to check, nip the head down, just make sure everything was fine. And I noticed a tad of moisture there then, and you just see on the top of some of the rocker screws. So I think I'll pop that out just for safety's sake. I'll drain the coolant and I'll get that out. I'll run the thread down like I've done in the past and try and keep it all clean in there if I can. We'll see how we go. Well, I've got an O-ring pick here, and you can see the coolant and the muck sitting there, and you can see as I just poke that O-ring pick in there, I'm bringing a bit of muck out there, so that's porous. Even down here, that's going in quite easily as well. So anyway, I think it's drained the coolant, and we'll deal with this. We don't have to take the head off, we can deal with it here. We'll put a little dam around here to stop any rubbish getting through, and hopefully any moisture drops down the back. Okay, we've got everything covered up and an air nozzle, and you can see through here that there was leaking along this edge. Now there was quite a bit of meat down in there further before it started getting to the corroded section. So I'm drilling a couple of holes around there, trying not to go all the way through, hopefully just to relieve the pressure off the wall there and lever that out in one piece. We'll see how we go with that. No room to video, I'll just stop and start. Okay, I relieved the outside, and then I came in with my little round screwdriver here and just pushed it in from the edges, and that there is a little slug. You can see the thread around the end there. So what we do from here is I'll clean that hole as best I can, trying to keep any rubbish out of inside there, jam a bit of rag down deep in, and what we'll try and do then is we'll run the 3/4 BSP thread, I think it is, down in there, and we'll put a brass plug in. Well, we've got the hole cleaned out nicely, and we have a ratchet now on a bar, and this is a tapered tap. You have to open the top just a little bit to get the tapered tap started. Now the cap for that, I'll come around under the seat here, and
Normally I wouldn't put a double plug in, but this will save me a trip to town. So we'll tap him out and we'll end up putting that brass one in. So that should get the job done. So there we go, there's the new thread. I've got a little light here. And the 3/4 BSP plug. I've already screwed the centre one in, so when we tighten this up it won't collapse. Now we just do I've pulled a piece of rag out and I've blown everything clean. So what the story is now is I'll take this back out, we'll put a bit of Loctite on it, we're going to Loctite it in, and we'll screw it down and we'll try and keep one of these flats on the hex in line with the tappet cover gasket. So the tappet cover gasket's got plenty of room to sit down there. So I'll do that and then I'll come back. And there you go. That's the plug done. I'll probably wipe it with a bit of rag, tidy it up a little bit, but that's okay. Now that'll never come out again. We can unscrew it if we need to, but now we can actually set the tappets and know we're going to stay there. So there you go. That's what you get when you think you've got a tiny little tappet rattle with your tractor. You'll just pop the tappet cover off and do a tappet reset before you take it away on the weekend. So what I'll do now, I'll put some coolant in the tank and I'll let the Loctite go off. I'll pressurise the radiator and I'll keep the pressure there while I'm setting the tappets, and that way yeah, we know it's a good fix.